This is such a good song. Yeah, we're gonna hear that song today. I'm so excited. Hi, welcome back to Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations, HD. Very exciting. I love that it's showing us his office. I wonder if this background is going to change depending on which case we're on? I don't know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. The last time Miles Edgeworth got back from his month in Europe after the events of Trials and Tribulations and came back to find that not only had someone broken into his office, but someone killed someone in his office, and then he got held at gunpoint. What does it all mean? We met another prosecutor. He's really annoying. Gumshoe is back. Maggie Bird is back. Let's fucking go. I'm really excited. Let's load. Let's get into it. Turnabout visitor. Right. Okay, so we're gonna get into the actual investigation part again. As you may remember, there are no court cases. It is all truly investigations and cross-examinations, which I really like. I think it makes this game unique, and yet it still fits into the series really well. Also, all these songs are so good. Iwadare, you have my heart and soul. Alright. And it's 4:18 a.m. Edgeworth has not slept. I want you to keep track of the date and time in this series, by the way. I want you to keep track of it, because he gets so little sleep over this that I'm like, bro, you okay? Like, are you hallucinating at any point? Because I would. I start hallucinating if I get too little sleep. Anyway. Sure, let's start. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Hell yeah. Okay. Wee. Oh, we'll come back to you. Okay. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Alright. A well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent. Fucking fussy gay Edgeworth, I love you. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know. You would sleep even out here, detective. In a hallway? Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends the same way, me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime. To envision myself winning, naturally. Are you sure you don't want to get trounced by a lawyer? Hey. I bet the thief's not under here. I guess there isn't enough space for anyone to hide under here anyway. I mean, if someone could contort themselves to fit, I'd be really impressed. Sounds to me like somebody has already tried at least once before. It's... Oh! Oh! I think I made that joke last stream. I'm sorry. Isn't that this... Isn't this that missing file, series file, sir? No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seems to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these 0 files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. Huh? They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. I mean, think of DL6, that was relevant. Okay. Back out of this. What's my silly, can, Gumshoe say anything funny now? Do you have anything funny to say? Anything of interest? Detective Gumshoe, you look rather intrigued by something. Care to share? Oh, it's nothing, but I noticed that Mr. Portsman calls his partner Jim. And the detective in that Sunday night drama, All My Cops, is named Jim too. I bet one of them is a big fan of that show. You seem to know a little something about it yourself. I take it you watch it too. Of course, the tight bond of friendship between prosecutor and detective is great, sir. But it's nothing compared to the super strong friendship we have. Friendship, detective? I think you're mistaking it with pity. How can you say that, sir? And after all we've been through, too. It's fine, I got an award for that! No way. That's so funny. Don't worry, Edgeworth is just constipated, emotionally, and perhaps physically. He seemed like the type of person to have IBS, I'm gonna be so real. About Ms. Bird. No way she's the killer. Please don't tell me you buy into that accusation, sir. Rest assured, I think she's innocent. However, I need to ask her a few things regarding her security guard position. Well, if you're only asking, that's okay. Just stand next to her and then press A. Then you two can talk about whatever topic you pick. When you want to ask her about evidence, all you have to do is present it to her with X. After you choose what to show her, press X again, and off you two go. I recommend showing different people different things. You'd be surprised by what they say. Thank you for the explanation, though I don't recall asking for one. Oh, just so you know, sir, you can show me evidence in the same way, too. I do believe it's time to get down to business and ask some questions of Ms. Bird. Ignored again. That's funny. Okay. Basketball. What is a basketball doing here? A man has never seen Air Bud or High School Musical in his life. That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. I mean, basketball, you could kind of play. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to a building long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor. He's like, damn, that's so impressive. This office. 1203. 1203. Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portsman's, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. Interesting. Suspicious that he's the one next door. Hello. Is everything alright? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and this room. Oh, everything is okay, sir. A word of advice. Stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. What are you doing here? Hi, Nim. I got the funniest accolade by making fun of Gumshoe on accident. Alright.
It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hi, Karma.
To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste.
Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open.
How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again?
Pain just being not memorable to Edgeworth is really funny. Alright, hang on. Alright. Oh, will you say anything about this? Oh, he will.
This badge's design is said to reflect the relentlessness and discipline of law enforcement. It comes from the authority vested in us as strict prosecutors of the law, and the executors of sentences, much like harsh winter frosts and blazing summer days. To wear it is to identify oneself as a prosecutor, but I have no interest in doing so.
Yeah, I got an achievement.
Each prosecutor's badge is engraved with the number of its owner on the back. Numbers, as if we're not human on the inside like everyone else.
That's so funny, I don't remember that line. Alright. Yeah, he had... Okay, we looked at this already. There was only one shot fired. Okay, there's nothing to observe about that. Hello? Okay.
It's the master key to every office in the building.
Why don't we go into Portsman's office? He ought to be a suspect. Yeah, friendship or pity. Yeah, that's so funny. Okay. Hi, Maggie. Actually, I kind of want to see what Gumshoe says about shit. Present. Your prosecutor's badge is really tiny compared to my police badge. Oh, but, it's really cool, sir. Much, much cooler than my badge could ever be.
There's no need to suck up to me, detective.
I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to arrest it.
Is that the only talent you have? Oh, wait.
The victim's gone, huh? It's the same model as mine.
A tool used to protect lives, yet one that can also take lives away. Those who take a gun in hand wield a great responsibility. I hope you understand that.
I don't really use my gun at all, sir. The only time I would use this baby is when I'm fighting a hot duel with a convict to look ultra cool.
You were doing so well until that last bit.
That's funny. I had no idea you had one of these things. I mean, I thought I knew everything there is to know about you, Mr. Edgeworth. I feel like I've caught a glimpse of the hidden side of Miles Edgeworth.
There's a great deal you don't know about me. At least, I hope so.
What does that mean? Hey, Edgeworth, what does that mean? Girl, what? Oops. Okay, you don't know. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, wait, can I present profiles to you? Aw, that sucks. Okay. Alright, Maggie. Hi, groovy antagonist.
Angst.
Hello.
I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case.
I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth.
I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key.
He wants to be mysterious so bad. That's so relatable, though. The mortifying ordeal of being known is so difficult. I'm trying to make more friends, and it's very hard.
I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her with X.
Okay, well, let's also talk to her first.
Have you ever met the victim before?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir.
That sounds like fun. Just once I'd have loved to play with them.
It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir.
On second thought, I don't think I've fit in all that well with them. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective?
She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night.
You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct?
Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. How did you survive? I want to know that story so bad. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. And now, I even managed to be named a criminal, just when I become a security guard.
That's a lot to go through in one lifetime.
I know! And just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck.
You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation.
Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. All right. That's a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? Karma, I was literally just thinking, oh my god, it's just like Morgana from the House of Morgana. I'm talking to somebody about doing a shoot for her soon, and so I was trying to explain to him, I was like, she's had like the worst life imaginable. I was thinking about that this morning even. It proves that you're really a prosecutor.
Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe.
With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, may I please try that on, just for a little bit?
I don't think that would be a very good idea. Do you?
I guess not.
On second thought, they're actually on the same level. He's like, made for each other, I see.
I'm just a lowly security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it. That's so funny that she says the same fucking thing.
It's like talking to another Gumshoe. That's funny.
Alright.
So when did you discover that the master key was missing?
By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back around 2:30 a.m., sir. I just added sir at the end, like, it automatically. Oh my god, calm down, me. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir.
Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place?
It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window.
Always, you say? Except for this time, correct?
Well, I admit that I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge.
She used the master key.
Why did you use it?
What did you mean by you used the master key?
Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. Aw. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? She seems like she could also be a little bit related to Hanji. There's something about her. Hanji's younger sister or some shit. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah!
What is it?
That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir.
What? Please tell me more, Ms. Bird, quickly.
It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir.
And that's when you loaned the master key to him?
No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. She looks super cute there. I gotta be so real. I don't blame Gumshoe one fucking bit. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir.
I see.
And then, what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think.
So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight.
But that doesn't make sense with the timeline, right?
Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door.
Alright, hold on though. That doesn't... Something about that doesn't make sense, because... 1:30 was during the time it was missing. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office.
Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir.
So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202?
I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd?
Yup, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting time thinking about this?
Have some whimsy, Edgeworth. Okay.
It's Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. I can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office.
But you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here.
How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost?
Okay.
A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood.
It's kind of majestic too. Fits in really well with the ambiance of the prosecutor's offices. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these.
Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne.
Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work! I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. That's wretched. The door is locked tight.
I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
This is the office of a high prosecutor, Detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha! So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. Foreshadowing is a narrative device. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from?
How do I go down? Can I go down? Go down? Nope. Can I deduce? Can I go down? Okay, hold on. Well, I am gonna save for a second. You already checked this area, okay, but it never... Okay. So I guess I'll just do logic then. So, this and this, they don't make sense. So that's why I would connect them. They're contradictory.
Ms. Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story.
What? No way, pal! I mean, sir.
You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time.
Wow! Nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I had totally forgotten all about that. But thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right. It was around that very time that I realized the master key had gone missing.
And?
Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir.
You pretended?
Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir.
So in actuality, you never did relock the door, then?
Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Okay. Can I present that to you? I've had to open Mr. Portsman's office up for him a number of times before. I've also had the chance to see the inside of his office on a number of occasions too. He's got shelves upon shelves of sports memorabilia, trophies, and awards in it. To the point where it's almost beyond gaudy, sir. But maybe I just feel that way because I'm jealous since I don't have even a single one.
Don't say that, Maggie. I'll make a special Guard of the Month award just for you.
Aw. Thanks for trying, but I've already got a mountain of consolation prizes, sir. They're proof of just how unbelievably unlucky my life has been. Plus, getting an award from you just isn't the same as getting a real award, sir. Oh, Gumshoe and Maggie are so cute. Straight rights.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. 1202. These 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office.
Whoops. Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir.
They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of...
It's giving...
A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood. We already said that. It's sturdily made, making it near impossible to break in by force.
Let's have Phoenix Wright try it. Because he's broken through locked doors twice. Let him have a third time.
It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door. Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire.
I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I can do for everyone?
Right.
That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir.
I don't see any signs of forced entry.
And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir.
Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob?
Apparently, the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think.
Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind.
Okay. Is there any more logic that I can put together? Well, the other thing too is that, like, there could be... I think that's everything to observe. So I think actually those logic pieces might indeed go together. But let me... Hold on, I just want to see something really fast. Oh, okay, you have nothing to say. You have something new to say, though.
I was wondering about the investigation.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Let's let a real seasoned pro teach you how it's done.
A real seasoned pro? Of instant noodle cuisine, perhaps. You know that you can always check out the really important spots in more detail, right? Yes. And if the area is too big, you can always use R to take a look around. Oh, but don't worry, sir. The R command will only show up when you need it. I knew that as well. And when you think there's a contradiction or something unusual, try deduction. First, you line up your cursor with the suspicious-looking area, then press X and choose your poison. I mean, evidence. When you've settled on a piece, you gotta present it with X again. Okay, I'm pretty sure I already knew that as well, Detective. Well, if you can remember all that, then welcome to the world of pros. IW Ace Investigator, class dismissed. And all I wanted was an update about the investigation. That's funny. Okay, I do... Yeah, I know. Okay, I do think that there were 2 different instances of break-ins, or like, I don't even think, I know, because there was Faith getting in, and then also the guy who held us at gunpoint. So, that's the logic I would base connecting these on. But if they don't go together, I also understand why I would also understand why that wouldn't work. The pieces don't fit together quite right.
That's fine. Okay. I don't think there's anything I can deduce here, right? Okay. Nothing there. Anything else? Do you have anything new to say? You have nothing new to say. Okay. Nothing new. Talk to you. I talk to you. Wait, look at this again. Oh, there's something new. Aha. Okay. Let me look at my evidence. Okay, whatever, that's not relevant right now. Okay, say these again. Yeah, okay, you can say blah blah. He was so particular about getting it. Okay, I don't think there's anything I can do to deduce against that. But what was it that was said about the doorknob? Okay, it's locked tight. It's locked tight, which is not right because Maggie didn't actually lock it.
There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Ms. Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know, you're right. Ms. Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door?
I am certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't.
Which means, what, sir?
Like, the whole thing about this so, okay, I have to be critical of this case for a second. The whole thing about this that's kind of crazy, unusual, weird, like, what? That automatically, even if we hadn't seen that cutscene, makes Mr. Portsman so suspicious. It's 3 a.m. Why is he here? If he left, why is he still here? Anyway.
It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Ms. Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one.
Or he stole the master key. You're forgetting about the third option, but okay. I'll bite.
She opened a different door, but how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is, we need to examine these. The prints on the number plate, they will tell us all we need to know.
Everything? Really? Like what, sir?
Like, well, for example, and such a, dang it, I want him to do funnier.
Be funnier. Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of me making him say wrong things.
Well, we know for sure that Detective Gumshoe's dinner will only consist of instant noodles.
Wow, that was amazing, sir. How did you know? Was that supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, that's it. Now then, we should get back to doing what we need to do, and that is, we need to examine these.
I would say the prints on the master key, right? Really? But I thought that the keys or the doorknob was wiped. We didn't find any prints other than Maggie's. Oh, okay. That's so brilliant, Mr. Edgeworth! So what can we deduce from that?
Well,
I'll tell you what I deduced. I think this means that the culprit wiped their prints off. Well, they did on the doorknob as well. That's silly. Okay.
the prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you! Yeah, you, pal. Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what did you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, detective.
Sir, I have found only Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob.
So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive.
Wait. Okay, yeah, so no Maggie. Huh? I'm lost, sir.
Thinking logically, a certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose prints should also be on this doorknob?
Maggie.
Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent?
You mean...
Yes, the door that Ms. Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one.
Nice. Slob on that knob, as they say. Sorry.
What have we here?
I knew we should have looked down. Dumb cunt.
Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman?
Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball.
That isn't the point you should be focusing on, detective.
You're right, sir. And now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad, Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean his toys up after he's done playing.
I think we've reached the end of this conversation.
He should mark the ball with, his initials.
What's this?
What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game?
That's okay, detective.
I would kill to see Miles Edgeworth play basketball. I would kill! That would be so funny. AA7, make it happen. That's actually my real want from AA7, is Edgeworth playing basketball.
That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off.
Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when somebody made a seriously sweet slam dunk.
The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I'd better take note of this.
I'm tall enough to slam dunk on the kids' hoops at work now. I realized that the other day. I was like, oh, hell yeah. And they were like, don't, because we were playing horse. And they were like, don't, we can't do it. We can't reach. And I was like, I know, listen, you just have to understand. I'm really excited for me personally. Okay, same shit.
What is this?
Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone. But it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later.
It looks like a note from the victim.
Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman. Fascinating. Heal me. See, that's why it's fun to make mistakes in the investigation, because it heals you anyway. So it's kind of like less consequence, so you can just kind of fuck around and be silly. You dunking on the kids who sounds funny as... Yeah, honestly, like, I'm not that tall. So I'll never be able to dunk on like a regular, what is it, like the 8 foot, whatever the fuck. How tall is a basketball hoop usually? I don't remember. But anyway, the one at work, I can jump in and touch the rim. And, the kid, and make also a 3-point from like half court, and the kids are like, no! Because there's some girlies in like the 3rd, 4th grader group. And, they, yeah. They love making me play horse with them. And so I'm like, okay, fine. You want me to play? I'm not gonna go easy on you. They're almost as tall as me, though. Give them like 3 years and they'll be taller than me.
Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case.
You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth!
As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman.
What? Mr. Portsman?
I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come with me, it's time to knock on truth's door.
Didn't know you could shoot like that, my bad. I'm not that good. Like, I played, when I was younger, I played for 4 years, and then, my brothers played, and, like, that was a thing we did in the neighborhood. Like, neighborhood kid shenanigans. We had a basketball hoop. So it took a little bit of practice to get back into it, but now that I work with kids and, like, they ask me to play, I've gotten practice back in, and so I'm like, I'm not good. But from certain angles, I can shoot and make it. I feel like, for me, the further I stand, the easier it is for me to take the shot. The close-up shots are harder for me. It's 5 a.m. Edgeworth is still awake. Mr. Portsman, I've finished processing the bloody letters, sir.
Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this.
Whoa!
Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe.
Into the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now.
Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke?
It's no joke. We know Mr. Jacques Sportsman. So I said it. I said the pun.
I'm sorry.
We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. I'm having trouble speaking today. Forgive me.
Is Maggie wearing capris? Oh, she's wearing Bermuda shorts. Okay. I'm sounding like Sonic. Yeah, why not?
You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of your way.
You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl.
Who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know?
Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work.
Playing through your favorite Sonic game as a stream? I mean, that will eventually happen because it's a game that my brother and I played. But I have to download a mod for it because the Steam version is bugged to hell.
The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up.
Well, aren't we full of ourselves? Even though you have yet to prove anything. Alright.
Ooh, okay. on. They updated this song? That ding ding. Oh, that's good. Carmen, you'll have to find out. Yeah, cool. I like this new version. It's different. It's definitely different, but I like it. It sounds a little more spy music. Okay, anyway. I have no idea what sort of harebrained ideas you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Alright.
Sorry, but we are not finished yet.
Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something?
I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on. With evidence.
Alright, let's fucking go.
Hold it!
My accusation is a harebrained idea, is it?
You tell me. I'd say it is. After all.
Hold it!
Oh, and what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about here?
Jim was my partner, so you can't say I had a motive for killing him.
And that's it. That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain.
But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree?
Might I recommend that you review what the word evidence means?
It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer.
Sure it does.
Hold it!
Unfortunately, I believe I have already shown how earlier.
Your speculation means nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room.
What should I do now? Should I raise an objection?
Sure.
You claim to have had no way to open my door. However, is that really the honest truth?
Alright.
He said it. I didn't have to say it. He said it.
Alright, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot.
Very well then. I propose that you used this to open my door.
Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, okay, never mind. I think he used this. So what he did was he switched the labels on the door tags. He switched them. And then was like, oh, Maggie, I can't get in. I'm so sorry. And then Maggie was like, oh, no problem. And then used the master key and let him in. And then he's like, oh, Maggie, I still don't have my key, so can you lock out? And then she's like, oh, yeah, okay. And then didn't actually do so. And then, yeah.
Take that!
I believe you were able to open my office door with... I believe you were able to open my office door. With the master key, no less.
Objection!
Wait. Hold on for a second. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know.
Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key.
Take that!
You had asked Ms. Bird to open your own office door for you. Yes?
Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know?
But the room you had Ms. Bird open at that time was not your own, was it?
What? You have quite the imagination. Well, why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we?
I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir, and there it is.
See? Miss Bird backs up my story.
Yet, what if you had misled her, to fool her into thinking what you wanted?
And how do you suppose I did that?
By switching the number plates on our doors, for example.
And see, this is why these games made me start taking notes, which I will from the next case on. That's never evidence. It's just something you have to remember, right? And this game does that quite often, where it won't give you something as evidence, but it expects you to remember it because it's an important point. And the other games do that for sure, but they don't do it as often as these games do. So, note-taking will become a thing. Anyway, I don't remember if I took this line. By switching the number plates on our doors, for example.
That's right! They do slide out pretty easily.
Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours, and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Miss Bird think that it was his room? Hoops!
Take that!
What? The basketball hoop, sir?
It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor.
Ah! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's.
There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit it in front of my office, to be sure.
I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Alright. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. And after that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. Idiot!
He's one of the dumbest, worst criminals.
Because he's boring!
I had to give him the Sonic voice to make him more fun.
So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he?
I'm as pure as innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears.
My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday.
Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here.
I love it when he uses a word that reminds you that he did, in fact, grow up his first 9 years in California.
Hold it!
Nonsense, you say?
Yes, because I'm telling the truth here.
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course.
Sure. You have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right?
Perhaps we should place it at an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you.
He would like that, I think.
Hold it!
And what were you doing in your office?
I was doing my usual training regimen.
Training regimen? Were you going through your law books from start to finish?
Mainly battling practice and some weights. Oh, batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. I gotta go fast.
Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have. Simon Blackwell would like to speak with you on that one, I think.
With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem.
I was doing my usual workout, so... You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
Hold it!
I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually.
Objection!
But none of those would stand up on their own.
Objection!
Then what about all the evidence?
Objection!
It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence.
He seems to be trembling a little. One more little push. All I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony.
Alright. Girl, shut up. Okay, wait, hold on. Girl, no you weren't.
Objection!
That was a lie.
What are you talking about? How is that a lie?
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman.
A note?
It was left under your door. Or did you not notice?
Hi, Maddie. Also, Miles looks pretty buff, too. Yeah, he's like... I would say he's strong, for sure. At least here. I think he's also just, like, broad. They're all built like fucking refrigerators in this era. The twinks didn't really start coming into play until around the time of AA4. You know what I mean? I don't remember if I said this.
It was left under your door. Or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you are out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing?
Ah!
Shall I explain it in full detail for you?
Oh, let's fucking go. Hey, this goes hard! Oh, and they kept that French horn line in? That's my favorite part of this whole song. Although it might be a trombone playing it now. Okay, this keeps up with the original version. The original version I still think I like a little bit better. Just a teensy tiny bit better. But this keeps it up. This is good. I'm glad. I'm glad that this did not diminish the quality of and energy of this track. This is definitely my favorite song in the soundtrack, or at least the original soundtrack. And this song got me through many days in August 2022. When I started playing this game, and I had a surgery, and I was going, actually July as well. I was going back and forth to a hospital, and I couldn't take public transit. I had to take an Uber, and it was an hour-long Uber ride, because of the traffic, because New York. Okay. You know what? That still might be a French horn. Hard to tell. But, this song definitely, like, made me be like, okay, it's okay, we're getting through this. And, like, packing the move across the continent. Okay, alright, we can do this. Like, we're in this. This is such a good song. And I think of the Pursuit songs, I really like this one so much. Definitely one of my favorites. Another thing too is I've talked about like the how do I say, the different Pursuit themes have kind of told us different stories, right? We had that first game where it's like you want to be a hero, you're gonna save somebody. The second game, with Francisca, you're trying to prove something. The third game, there's people who can't be saved. The fourth game, you have no idea what's going on, but you have to gain control somehow. Well, fuck, we gotta do it anyway. That's Apollo's whole thing in that game. This game is, actually. Edgeworth is very confident. He's, at least in his job, maybe not his personal life, but in his job, he's at a point now where he is very confident in his abilities as a prosecutor and understanding the law. And this song is a bit of an actually. I know what I'm doing. Don't question me. I'm competent, and I'm going to show you that I'm correct. And I really like that feeling because it is such a counterpoint to all of the pursuits we've heard thus far, where it's less confident and more like flying by the seat of your pants. So in my head, I actually sometimes refer to this song as the actually song. Anyway. Fuck it, we ball is the Apollo one for sure. Apollo's is fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, like, I have no control over this situation, fuck it, we ball. That is literally the Apollo one. For AA4, I mean. Anyway, back to the story.
You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you.
Objection!
That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me.
Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence.
No way!
This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you.
Knob.
Take that!
I had your door dusted for prints.
My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time.
You're right. I didn't find anything, and definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints.
Her prints? What do they have to do with anything?
Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched.
Blah!
Further, all of the prints on my office's doorknob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsmouth, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office.
And just what's so funny, pal?
Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world.
What?
Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer! Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already!
And as I said earlier, it's also circumstantial. So full of conjecture.
That was hard for me to say for some reason.
You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Slob on this knob.
Well, I can't stop saying it, I'm so sorry.
Well, I can readily confess that I wiped that knob down as well. I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see.
Shut up. Don't call yourself OCD if you're not actually fucking diagnosed. That shit drives me nutso. Just say you're meticulous.
I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched. Which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my prints would be on there.
You made that up just now, didn't you?
Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example.
Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway?
Hey, even geniuses fail at times.
It hasn't been long enough. Because, like, when was his... Sorry. He died, what, 2:30? Oh, 2:05. There was no other time.
I was
probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. No, that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size.
But you can't prove that, can you?
Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir.
Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it.
Besides, I have an airtight alibi.
Airtight, you say?
I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner.
Gag me.
If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Why were you there at 2 a.m.? Because you arrived to the office at like 1 a.m.? That's so strange. That's so strange. That shouldn't be allowed.
Do you really think it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care.
We're so back.
Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe.
Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m.
You see?
All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere.
Hold it!
You are correct. It was around 2 a.m.
Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're on spot on with the time.
I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2.
Ooh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2.
It was then that you had the unfortunate competition.
Hold it!
It is as you say, however.
Yes, however, you're the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs.
Oops. Snoo.
Hold it!
So you paid the criminal affairs department to visit.
Yep. Right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. All right.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony.
And it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time.
See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve.
Ugh. Impossible! He actually does have the perfect alibi.
What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face?
Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we've reached the end of the line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there!
Sir!
Please escort the young lady out. But remember, be gentle.
Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic.
Mind Palace. Okay. So, okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. There's 2 bullets. But the second one we watched get shot. Or, we didn't watch, but, like, we were there.
One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life. And one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But, seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight.
Which is why the files were rearranged twice. We're so smart. Guys, we're so smart. Oh my god. Not to like toot my own horn or anything, but we're so smart, guys. Sorry.
Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight. That would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder.
Computer, no, you're okay. Baby girl, no. Baby girl. You're okay. Have I ever said this on stream? My computer's name is Mia. Like, literally Mia Fey.
So it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it. And once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Oh, he like reared up for that. That was so good.
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case.
Great. So you finally come to your senses.
Mr. Edgeworth! Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start.
Why, Mia? Because I love her. That's my wife. Happy wife, happy life.
I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into was just your average thief.
A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight.
What do you mean, 2?
It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Ms. Bird and gained entry into my office.
God, this song. A little sad that this one didn't get an updated version. This sounds like Elle's theme from Death Note. Nice leitmotif there.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know.
If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me. Which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time.
So then, this would be where the files were put back in the wrong order, right?
Correct. And then just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
Why did Mr. Faith come to your room, sir?
He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess.
Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so we came into this office to check it out.
Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do.
But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there.
Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He couldn't afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. Or he could afford to do that, sorry.
You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that.
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated.
There was another visitor, sir?
Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
The stolen zero file, right, sir?
Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter.
So the shelves getting messed up twice and the two bullets. It was all because two different people were doing those things at two different times.
Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
What's so funny, pal? What's so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything.
Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all.
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right. It would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument, for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir.
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point.
Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must.
You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct.
Oh, did we get the Allegro?
Yes!
Let's fucking go. Oh, this mix is very good. The DJ scratches in the background during that interlude. Let's fucking go. I noticed there's the addition of electric guitar a lot more in these songs, which is really cool. Oh my god! The funky guitar! Stop! That fucks so severely, guys. I love this song anyway. This is great. The bass, like, there's obviously a bass, but it's a like the bass parts of the piano too, like providing that rhythm is so like it. Oh, it's so good. It's such a driving force through the song. Very successful. And that's the funky guitar. It's not DJ scratches. I had to turn up the music a little more to hear it. They're quiet at that part. Gotcha.
That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left.
I'm hot now. Hold on. Gotta take off my sweatshirt. I'm jamming too hard. When the music goes too hard and you party too hard and you get too hot and you're sweaty. I'm not sweaty yet, but I'm trying to prevent it. I hate being sweaty. It's a horrible feeling. Anyway.
So you think we should be out there looking for the thief?
Of course. Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions.
I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it.
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't.
Why not?
That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the 0 files, right?
And that's how we also know the letters themselves were set up, and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves?
Ah! Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe. Just maybe.
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby.
Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after.
Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief.
It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Faith's note...
Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered.
I don't have any, no.
You see, so I insist again that it was in my office the entire time.
Hold it!
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith?
That's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know, those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits.
And what of the evidence he brought?
They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant.
Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks.
Where are those now?
A gun and a pendant.
Yes, this gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim.
And why were you taking them to criminal affairs?
There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all of this has nothing to do with the case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction.
This is all matching up with what Detective Gumshoe found out.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hold it!
I associate this song with a very specific part of this game. A very specific villain. Or antagonist, rather. I guess they're also a villain.
I can't expect you to know, can I?
Nope, but I guess you can expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions.
Oh, then let's see you deduce.
Jim waited for me to leave, then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I laid out earlier.
I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it.
Do, 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 do. This game. The second game has a different soundtrack. The only thing that's even similar is just the, how do I say? The objection theme. It's the same, like, melody. But it's this game. Dum, 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 dum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, sorry. I got distracted. Twitter keeps sending this, like, try grok today. And I'm like, I'm not doing your stupid fucking AI shit. And I'm trying to, I got distracted because I'm like, I want to turn it off completely. Like, the notifications about asking me to try it. Shut the fuck up. Anyway. Okay. Okay, what was the thing? Oh. Okay. Okay. So it's this statement. What is this again? Okay, there's 3. Okay, cool.
Objection!
Bye.
Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is,
What? I didn't hit. No, I didn't mean hit autoplay. What the heck?
you fail.
Excuse me?
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me.
Maddie, same. But I use it on browser. So that I can't help but have updated. But my apps, I still got that little blue bird. She's not going away ever. Ever, ever, ever.
What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece I think you should read. Carefully.
Ah! It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces!
Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman.
Hey, I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence?
It's...
You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe.
You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe.
Oh, don't come any closer. I'm warning you.
This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me.
No!
Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. I'll have to rip her out of my cold hand. Yeah, for real.
Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide.
But why would he hide something like that?
There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin.
KG8. Interesting.
The KG8 incident?
That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video was evidence from that case?
Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once-over.
Well, oh. I don't think that's supposed to be there. Ugh, that's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh.
No movie time yet, unfortunately. Give it time. There will be movie time later, I think. Well, at least stills from a movie. I don't remember.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No, you've got it all wrong.
No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video.
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him?
You know very well. Oh, where did he keep that tape? Wow. I'll never tell.
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints?
Yeah.
If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith.
No, impossible. I'm...
His death animation there, or not death, but like defeat animation. That's so funny. Man. Alright, guys have pockets. Yeah, they have like deep pockets. Which is why half of my pants are now men's pants. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir.
Very good.
And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the classroom. The courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies.
Aw, it was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary than murder this time, sir. If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Professor Edgeworth is so compelling. Honestly, it's so interesting to think about like my own teaching style and like who I become when I'm teaching. Because I don't feel that I am fully myself. It's very much like putting on a performance. At least the experiences that I've had like with international students. And I'm, you know, college age / high school, and so it's like trying to entertain them in whatever way. I do feel like it's the clavier part of me that has it. I have like the persona that I have to put on for things like that. Same thing at work.
Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail.
You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor.
And why would you say he was corrupt?
How old was he again? Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he used is forged, sir.
Forged evidence, huh?
And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh! That guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession!
We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up.
Although, we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something.
This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Oh, well, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this.
Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy?
I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence.
Okay. Honestly, is it the safe? Because we never talked about it. But also because like, it could be the safe, but also pieces of this were missing. I guess it would have to be this because like, this... Hey, Karma, don't say. If you give any more hints or anything like that, you're getting kicked. Because I've had to warn you a couple times. I think that it's this anyway, because there are pieces missing from it that never got addressed fully.
Take that!
The person who stole this file? The other villain of the night?
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint?
Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
Yes?
I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir.
This card.
What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective.
Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about? It's gonna be a time cleaning that blood from the floor. Yeah, and from the shelf, too.
Yes, it is the mark of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will.
Sorry, I like the Yatagarasu theme. This sounds like Iwadare's older compositions to me. It also sounds like it could belong in Skies of Arcadia.
Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back.
What? Let me see.
It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files.
So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago.
Turns out this man has not had sleep for 3 days. Nice. All right. Oh, turned out Airlines, my beloved. How little sleep has Edgeworth gotten over this? Let's see. If he said this happened 2 days ago, so if he's counting like this day, so he's had at least 2 nights of no sleep. At least 2 nights so far. So far. So far. Yeah, so Saturday night? Flying high. Saturday night. More. January keeps going through. I decided on my short game for February. I just have to make sure it'll work because it is in an older game. But I think I can use the same setup I had for Skies of Arcadia and it should be fine. That man runs on tea and spite. Tea, spite, and homosexuality. Computer, you are okay. Nothing's happening, honey. Nothing's happening. It's okay. Yeah. These streams, they'll be, the schedule will pretty much continue in March with Thursday, Saturday, but, if I can get a normal person job, like a Monday to Friday type job, the schedule will change. But for now, that doesn't matter. That was just me musing. Yeah. Anyway, Saturday evening, my time, we begin Turnabout Airlines. I'm excited. I think we'll get to see another familiar face, which is exciting. And at the very least, we will get, again, some very weirdly homoerotic dialogue that only Miles Edgeworth can give. But until then, you know the deal. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Please wear a mask. Pretty please. Pretty please. Pretty please. Everyone at work is getting sick because people went out all over the place and then came back and then they're sick from traveling and not wearing a mask, and then the kids are getting sick and then staff is getting sick. Oh my god, if you just wear a mask, it helps. It helps so much. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Again, no spoilies. Let me be wrong, and also people in chat, there might be people who haven't played it that show up. So, zip. Fucking zip it. Anyway. I will see you when I see you. Bye.